Welcome to the Colts complex here on West 56th Street as the Indianapolis Colts, 5-1 Indianapolis Colts, first place in the AFC South Indianapolis Colts, tied for the best record in the NFL Indianapolis Colts, are getting ready for the LA Chargers this week. Back at SoFi Stadium, the site of their only loss this season against the Los Angeles Rams, a game you could argue, without a few gaffes, would have won. So, big test in the AFC, a game that's going to probably matter come down the stretch of the season if the LA Chargers continue on the trajectory that they are on. So it's a meaningful game. There's no question about it. So some injury updates here when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts. All right, Kenny Moore, best news of the day. Kenny Moore back at practice on Wednesday. That he is a sight for sore eyes, especially with how thin this team is at the defensive back position. Speaking of the defensive back position, Charvarius Ward, who concussed himself pregame running into Drew Ogletree. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. I mean, what are the odds of that happening? Concussed himself running into Drew Ogletree pregame ahead of the game last week, is in the concussion protocol, did not practice on Wednesday, so we'll monitor that situation, although that doesn't seem to be where you want to be as far as concussion goes in Charvarius Ward. Lastly, Anthony Richardson obviously headed to IR. He's going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks. Brett Rippon, come on down, signed by the team. He's getting into town a little bit later on Wednesday. By the time you're watching and listening to this, he's probably in town. Riley Leonard elevated to QB2. So that's a bit injury news and notes. Kenny Moore coming back and being healthy, at least practicing on Wednesday, is huge news. This defensive backfield needs all the help that it can get. It was one of the low points, the lowest point of a win, by the way, but a win nonetheless last week against the Arizona Cardinals. That's an area of this team that certainly needs to improve. But let's talk about the offense real quick. It's been efficient all season long. Daniel Jones has been mentioned in MVP conversations. I don't think any of us had that on our bingo cards, but Daniel Jones is playing at an extremely high level. Jonathan Taylor is playing like the best running back in the National Football League, and these playmakers are getting fed, all of them, not least of which potential Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tyler Warren. So it's been really good stuff offensively. Got a chance to catch up with Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren ahead of this matchup against the Chargers here in Week 7. Take a listen.
I'll start out with the injury updates. As you guys know, we put AR on IR. He'll miss at least 4 weeks. I don't have an exact timetable on it. He'll be in and out, getting checkups, but he'll still be engaged, be in meetings, but obviously he'll have some medical attention and just praying for a healthy recovery there. Mooney is in the protocol, so we'll see how the week goes. Kenny Moore will return to practice today. He'll go through some individual and get him some reps today, so good to have him back. Overall, just looking at the Chargers, first off, just a ton of respect for them and that organization. I spent 9 years of my career there and got a ton of respect from the top down. Dean Spanos, John Spanos, AG Spanos give me an opportunity in this league. So I really appreciate them. A talented football team all around. Starts with our quarterback. Again, had a chance to be around him. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He can make all the throws. Very intelligent, gets them in and out of the right plays. So we got to be on it this week with him. Keenan Allen's another guy that's been doing it for a long time. Ton of respect for him as a player, as a person. He's kind of like his brain's like a quarterback that plays receiver. So he knows how to play the game at a high level. McConkey's a hell of a player too. He's been doing some good things for him. Johnson, I know he's a little dinged up. We'll see how the week goes with him, but he's an explosive play guy waiting to happen. And then Derwin James on the defensive side, he's as good as it gets at the safety position. They line him up all over the place, so we just got to be aware of him. But it'll be a hell of a challenge. We're excited to go back out, to LA and have an opportunity to go play these guys.
With Ward in protocol, will he practice today?
He will not.
Shane, in what ways has Jonathan Taylor taken his game to apparently taken it to a new level?
Yeah, I think with time, players get better and better, and he's playing at the ultimate high level right now. The way he's running, and it's a credit to the guys up front. But I think his vision's been incredible, off the charts this year. He's running hard. He's running physical. He's doing a hell of a job at pass protection too as well, and obviously getting him touches out of the backfield too as a receiver. He's had some catches to add to his yards. But just extremely pleased on the effort he's putting in and the preparation and how he's performing.
Was that something that you talked to him about, becoming more of a third down back or three down back
Yeah, I think that's all part of the growth process, and he's taken pride in that, and he's been doing a hell of a job for us and on his P's and Q's and the protection stuff. Yeah, he's been great.
Shane, any chance for AR will be in and out? He'll be like going other places to check up?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, he'll just. Yeah, he's here today. He had a checkup this morning, but he was in the offensive meeting and stuff, and obviously from a medical standpoint, he just really needs his rest because he can't really do anything, physically. But yeah, just being engaged, he'll be in these meetings though.
Any chance Jalen Jones or Jalen Carlos yet?
Not right now.
Brett Rippon? Still planning to sign Brett Rippon?
Yeah, Brett Rippon. Yeah, he'll be here later today. He's flying in, but excited about him. Obviously, the guy's been doing it for a long time. To the practice squad, Riley will be our backup this week. I love Riley. I think Riley's came in with the right mindset from day one, the way he works, the way he prepares. So it's a hell of an opportunity for Riley this week. And then, like I said, he'll be our backup this week, and then we'll see how everything goes, through the next couple of weeks.
Rippon wasn't one of the tryouts. Have you guys worked with him earlier in the offseason?
No, he was just the guy that we had on our radar, and heard a lot of great things about him. Obviously, he had a chance. He was in Minnesota there for a little bit with Daniel. Daniel's got great things to say about him, his preparation, his work. Obviously, played some good ball there in Denver. Boise State guy. A lot of my brothers went to Boise State. I talked to my younger brother last night. He's like, man, I was the ball boy when he was the QB there. I was like, well, he remember you? He's like, oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to hit him up on that one. But yeah, excited to get him in here and get him learning the system.
Shane, your team has been in all types of games so far this year, and you guys sit atop of the AFC. From a coach perspective, what have you learned about the guys playing for you right now?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is that they're playing together, and there's a lot of belief in that locker room. And I think our preparation and our process, sticking to that every day and just believing in one another. You know what I mean? It's not chasing the results; it's chasing improvement. And that's what we're after every day, is chasing the improvement of getting better and not worrying about tomorrow, but we're worrying about here and right now.
Shane, is there something to, on offense, so many of these guys have been draft picks of the Colts. Is there something to maybe that helping with the cohesiveness of the offense as a whole outside of Daniel?
Yeah, I think so. I think, one of my pillars is consistency, and I think consistency builds stability within an organization. Guys get to know each other. They know how each other tick. They know their work ethic. We got a lot of great leadership, a lot of veteran leadership that set the standard for the young guys coming in, and that's a credit to Chris and putting together the roster the way he has. And like I said, it's just a lot of belief in each and every one.
Shane, when you grade quarterbacks on film, do you grade or do you weigh, I guess, it differently? Third down, red zone, fourth quarter, anything do you weigh differently?
Yeah, I mean, you look at all that stuff. You look at third down efficiency, how he is, standing in there, especially when the pressure's coming. That's a lot when the pressure's coming, standing in the pocket, delivering those things with accuracy, not being timid in the pocket for sure. But, you grade a lot of things. Obviously, I grade accuracy, tight window throws, big playability, all those different things that go into the quarterback. Obviously, the mobility part, can he make plays outside the pocket? There's a lot of different things, but I think a lot of it starts with the neck up at the quarterback position. You got to know what you're doing at all times, know what everyone's doing, and I think that's what makes quarterbacks successful in this league.
You mentioned JT in the passing game earlier. No disrespect to JT, he's a great player, but he's made some blocks this year that I literally have never seen him make. Why such a big step this year, do you think?
Well, I think it's a credit to him, and I think it's a credit to DeAndre Smith, our running back coach, going through that process, working on it daily, obviously individual drills, working on blocking drills. All those little things add up. It's the little details. It's consistency and doing it over time and making sure you're on the same page with the O-line and Daniel and the protection calls and knowing exactly who you're blocking and how you're blocking them. And he's done a hell of a job with it.
When you look at what, like your third down defense, why do you think you all struggle in that area, the 30th in conversion rate?
That's a great question. I think that's something you look at every week and you try to improve on different things, whether it's coverage stuff or, match or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? I think you go through that process and you try to improve. It's just like our offense in the red zone. It was like, why are we struggling early in the red zone? I don't know. We had some penalties, and now we've been pretty good in the red zone. So Each week's different, you know what I mean? You're going to have good games. You're going to have games where you improve on certain situations, and you work through that process.
Last question. Young you were when you started watching football, or maybe you know your Colts history, but Ring of Honor, Colts Ring of Honor member on the other sideline. Do you have any memories of Jim Harbaugh as a player?
I just know that he was tough as nails. I'll say that. He was tough as they get. He stood in the pocket, took hits, talked some good trash, which was awesome watching, and I love that, at that position. So it'll be great to go against them. I don't know him that well, but I got a lot of respect for him for sure. Everywhere he's been a winner. So we're excited for the challenge, though. Yeah, thanks.
Exactly where you envisioned or expected this team to be in October?
I think we were confident. I think in the beginning of the season, and I think knew what we could be. There's a lot of work that has to happen before that, but I think we were confident in what we had, and still a long way to go, though. I think we all know that, and looking forward to the opportunity this week.
What was it that gave you that confidence?
Just good players. You look across the board, we got a lot of good players, smart coaches, and guys that want to work hard.
Yeah, you played with some elite running backs in your career. What have been your observations of JT since you've been here?
Yeah, he's incredible. I think it's hard to fully say how good he's been. He's been incredible in the run game. Obviously, explosive runs. He's found the dirty runs and made 2 or 3 yard runs, 6 or 7 yard runs, and then he's been big in the pass game too with running routes out of the backfield, check downs, making a guy miss, and keeping us on schedule. He's been really, really good.
You guys have been in a lot of types of games this year, comebacks, big leads. Here we are getting ready for week 7. What have you learned about yourself and this team right now as a group of guys?
Yeah, I think tough group, resilient group. I think on Sunday we had some things not go exactly our way, and we didn't maybe execute as well as we have in previous weeks, but found a way to win at the end and execute when it counted down the stretch. And I think that goes a long way. So we're hungry group, still working to improve how we can, however we can, and excited for this week.
It's a small fraternity of quarterbacks in the league. I know you're locked up on your own stuff, but do you pay attention to what other guys can do, and you see a guy like Justin and realize the skill set he has?
Yeah, I certainly enjoy watching him whenever we have a crossover game on film or he's playing on TV. So a lot of respect for him as a player. He's a tremendous quarterback. Great, obviously great physical tools, and you can tell he really understands the game and sees it and knows where the ball's supposed to be.
You were teammates with Brett Rickman in Minnesota. What can you tell us about the quarterback being brought in to join the league?
Yeah, Brett's a great dude. He's super smart, and I think I was always really impressed by how that room operated and how all those guys helped Sam prepare to play, and Brett's a really smart, sharp guy, been in the league for a while and played in different offenses, so excited to get to work with him again.
How much has it helped you as a quarterback mentally, just your confidence, knowing you have the protection that you have week in and week out with these guys?
Yeah, for sure. It helps, just knowing, getting through progressions and knowing, you got time to find the guy. I think these guys have played incredible throughout the season against some good fronts and handled a lot of different stuff. So huge credit to them. It's been fun. To be out there with them.
Do you say to yourself sometimes like, man, I can't believe I had this much time to throw this ball? Wow, it's like I'm out here all day. Or take us through that.
Certainly. There's some plays like that, and you go back and watch film, and you're like, man, I had more time than I thought I did. I think stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing with these guys.
What does this Chargers defense do so well?
I think they're really disciplined. They do what they do, really, really well, and they, you can tell they're on the same page. They communicate well. We've got good players, guys who fly around and play hard. So it'll be a good test for us.
Danny, could you sense when you got here that this is a group of guys around you on the O-line, tight ends, wide receivers, backs that have played together for a while?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially up front, you talk about the offensive line. There's some new guys in different spots this year, but I think just the way they communicate, the kind of the culture of the room, the standard of the room, you can tell that's extremely consistent, and guys who understand that, I think goes a long way. But yeah, throughout the offense, guys who know each other well, who've been in the system, know how to play together, how to help each other in certain situations.
Granted, you guys are playing against a different team, but it is the only building you guys have lost at this year. Is there, I don't know how you look at it, an extra sense of urgency to get back in that building and maybe get a bad taste out of your mouth? Does it help that you've played there already? How does that go through?
I don't think we really care where we play. I mean, I think wherever we're playing, we're certainly focused on winning. So, yeah, same place we played a few weeks ago, but we know we've got to execute, regardless of where we're playing, and we're excited to go back out there.
Daniel, your name has come up in the MVP conversation. What has that meant to you?
Not much after 6 weeks. We got a long way to go, and like I said, I've really enjoyed playing with these guys, and I think we got a lot of talented players across the board, and just try to do my part of that.
Riley mentioned that he's been following you pretty intently and watching everything you've been doing. How have you seen him grow as a sixth-round rookie throughout this year to now as a backup?
Yeah, I think he's worked extremely hard since the day he got in here to learn it and pick it up. He's a smart guy, very very talented, and been fun watching him. So he's been fun to work with, great energy and spirit in the room, and has helped me a ton. So yeah, he's made a lot of progress. I think he'll be ready to roll on Sunday.
Tyler, you guys have played in such a variety of different games this year. How valuable is that as a player to have those different experiences and those different outcomes each and every week?
I think it's great for a team just to be in those different situations, and you can practice them, but having real game experience is a lot more valuable. So it's been good.
Do you feel like, you've done so much already, and you're not even halfway through your rookie season. Do you have your feet under you now and feel like, hey, this is just football?
Yeah, I think it's kind of how I've approached it the whole season. I think when you got OTAs in camp, you kind of start to feel the flow. Obviously, in season's a bit different once you get there, but yeah, just week to week, still learning every day, being a rookie, but it's been fun.
No rookie wall now, or hopefully in the future for you, right?
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of dealing with stuff all year, right? It's your first time, so not letting it turn into one big thing, I think, is important.
Hey, what has stood out to you with this football team going into Week 7, first place in the AFC, so much huge success? What has stood out about what's making this team so special right now?
I think just how close you are, right? Obviously, we've been playing really good, but I think it starts off the field with the offense specifically, just being a tight-knit group, doing stuff outside of the practice facility, stuff like that. And I think that, translate. Obviously, the way we work at practice and all that helps, but I think the next step can be kind of something to give you an edge, right?
Tyler, I know this is a tough question for you to answer, but how much pressure do you think the different ways the Colts are giving you the ball is how much pressure does that put on the defense in terms of preparation and the amount of time they spend getting ready for you during the course of the week?
I think it just kind of is getting ready for our offense as a whole, because I'm just one part and there's 5 or 6 other guys kind of in that receiver position, right, who are catching passes that can do a lot of different stuff. I think that's what's helped us as an offense, is having that many different options around the offense to spread the ball around.
When you talk to Shane and just other guys about you, they just talk about how grounded you are. Where did that come from? How do you continue to be like that, after scoring these touchdowns and having these bright moments?
I think kind of understanding the game of football, it takes, I'm one guy out of 11 that are out there, and there's 10 other dudes that had to do something right for me to, make a play on certain plays, and, sometimes I'm the guy doing the dirty work for someone else to score, and that's just kind of the nature of football. So to me, it's never really about one person, so I'm just, another part of the offense that's doing their job.
Some of the sticks out to you about a Jim Harbaugh coach team?
He's a coach that's been doing it for a while. I think they always, play hard and just do it the right way, and they're going to be a smart, coached up team and not make, silly mental errors.
Colts look to keep this offense humming. As far as defense goes, different story. We mentioned it off the top there a little bit, but his defense has left a little bit to be desired. Now, it's much better to have that type of performance in a win that they did a week ago against the Arizona Cardinals, but it's a performance that was a bit concerning nonetheless. Now, you have your top 2, top 3 cornerbacks out. That's no insignificant situation that's happening, right? Charvarius Ward in the concussion protocol, didn't practice here on Wednesday. Kenny Moore back at practice on Wednesday. So again, that cannot be overstated how huge that is for this team, that he's at least practicing. Hopefully he's ready to rock here on Sunday against the Chargers. But it's a Chargers team who's solid, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Justin Herbert is a ridiculously good quarterback talent in the NFL. There's no question about it. And a lot of what was asked about today is on third downs primarily. I mean, if you go back to that Cardinals game, 3rd and 15 is being converted. A 3rd and 17 is being converted. A 3rd and 10. 3rd and longs are being converted by Jacoby Brissett. That's not exactly where you want to be if you're the Indianapolis Colts. 30th in the NFL when it comes to stopping teams on third down. That is near the bottom. That is bottom 3 in the whole league. So not where you want to be. We'll see if this defensive backfield can improve. They have to improve quickly. The Colts want to have success against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. We got a chance to hear from Zaire Franklin, Laiatu Latu, as far as this Colts defense goes here in Week 7.
And I just think we focus on just being the best version of ourselves. Like, I know it sounds like a broken record, but, I mean, that's just the message that we preach, just as the thing that we believe in. I think every single day we're just pushing ourselves to be the best team that we can be, best teammates we can be. That starts with Wednesday practice, and then that moves on throughout the week. And, it's been great for us to put together these good performances on Sundays, and especially getting these wins at home. I think that's the one that means the most for me. I know our fans deserve that, and, the team deserves it after so long.
Z, how do you balance, I think you're 4th in the league in points allowed per game, but then also some explosive stuff probably isn't where you want it to be. So what's that balance like? We're winning, but there's still a higher standard you always chase.
Man, it's definitely, like I said, it's that improvement that you're chasing every single week. You got to be honest with yourselves. After a win, it's very easy to just sweep certain things under the rug because you got the result that you wanted. But I think Lou and as well as the leaders on his defense do a great job of holding everybody accountable. Let's continue to push ourselves. I think it's early in the season. Some of our biggest struggles was the red zone. I think that was something that we grew into and started to play better in the red zone. Now we just got to make sure we limit some of these explosive plays. But I think like I said, I think we're in our journey, we're in our process. I told you before, I think this defense has a long way to go, but I think we're getting better every single week.
You've been with JT since the beginning. Do you sense that he's taken his game to an even higher level this year?
Yeah, I mean, I told him at the game, I said, listen, you the best I've ever seen. Just the consistency. I mean, if he wanted to, he could have took that last run 80 yards, and nobody wasn't going to catch him. But he's a team guy, so he took the knee. Yeah, I mean, JT is just on a whole nother level. Like I said, he's just adding to his game. I mean, from the pass protection to the pass catching, the playmaking in the passing game. I mean, and then you couple that with already his ability in the run game. I mean, there's maybe one other guy in the league that's playing even close to that level, but, I mean, JT, he's in a league of his own for sure.
When you look at third down for this team, I think you are 30th when it comes to giving up third down. That's not where you want to be. But I guess, why do you think you'll have issues on third down? I guess what helps you get off the field when you want it?
Man, I don't really think third downs necessarily have been the biggest issue. I know last week was rough. Now, the changing the quarterback last minute, losing the corner 15 minutes before the game, all that stuff played a role into it. But at the same time, it's just execution. Third down is the money down. It's where your execution and preparation has to take another step. Knowing LA is an extremely talented team on third down, so that's something that we definitely got to focus in and lock in on. Knowing that we got a good plan, we just got to execute it.
See, with JT, I mean, you're busy on the sideline doing your stuff. Do you find yourself watching him, though, because you just never know when he may go 60 or 80?
Man, you could just feel it, especially when it's those tough moments. I mean, me and JT, we just got a special relationship. And, JT will come find me, when he coming on the field, like, look, Z, like, I'm about to get the ball back to you. And I'm like, look, enough said. Like, we just go back and forth like that. So, like, me and JT, I mean, I like the tough runs more than the touchdowns now. I mean, now he got a couple tough touchdown runs too, so he does his thing. But, man, JT he's just special. He wears and tears at you all day. I mean, he's been running behind his pads, man, and it's been a tough run, bro. It's hard to get him down. He looks good. He's special.
Do you think people kind of forgot about him a little bit? Because he had those couple of years where the numbers weren't maybe what people were used to. And then last year and this year, though, like, I'm not saying you felt that way, but
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like he wasn't getting the credit that he deserved. You know, that comes when you miss a couple of games. But I think, you know, whenever he's been out there, I think the production speaks for itself. And I mean, the way he finished last season, just on the heater that he was on, I mean, that's just the type of player that he was. I mean, but he's been making big time runs year after year. I mean, I could go along off the top of my head of the big runs he's had every year in critical moments to help this team win. So.
I know it's a different team, but I'm sure you remember that plane ride back from LA last time, the only loss of the season so far. Will you kind of reflect on that a little bit, just knowing that feeling of coming back to Indy with the loss, going back to SoFi Stadium again, will you be ready to post a charge?
Man, well, you never want to lose when you know you got a long plane ride because that's like double loss, you know. I remember just a little bit of a feeling of regret, you know, the last time we went to L.A. You know, I know the Rams were a great team. I obviously got a lot of respect for Stafford, Puka, and the company. But, you know, I just really didn't like how when we went out there, I felt like we looked at them as our test. You know, we looked at them as, obviously, they were a great team. They've had playoff success, Super Bowl champion, you know, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, I feel like we didn't give ourselves enough credit, and I think that kind of showed up a little bit in the game. You know, I think we didn't go out there knowing that we were the team that we knew we were, you know, and believing in ourselves and knowing that they had to adjust to us, you know, that we were a test for them. And, you know, I feel like, you know, going out there to L.A. the second time, I think we're going to go out there with the right mentality. Man, I love Naeem. We got drafted together. We played against each other in college. I actually ran him down, too, so you could tell him I said that. I know he's a 4'3" guy. Listen, he's a 4'3" guy, and I ran him down, so I don't know what that make me. But I love Naeem. He's a happy, positive energy guy. He loves ball, loves his guys. Man, Naeem used to pull up the linebacker dinner when he was here, man. He really was just one of the guys. We used to compete every year, every day in 101s, and man, we got stories for days about all that stuff between myself, him, you know, D. Leonard, Speed, all the guys. So, you know, it's definitely going to be great to see him. I hope they don't give him the ball and he leave us alone. So.
Hey, I know you have a lot of respect for Justin Herbert. Going up against those guys, did that make you raise your game to another level when you went up against a good offense like that?
Yes. Well, I mean, obviously, those guys are playing at a high level. You know, I think they're a team that, you know, wants to get in big people. They want to bully you. Obviously, we know the attitude that Harbaugh is going to bring, a tough, physical team. And Herbert's playing at the highest level, you know, anybody else in this league right now. So much respect to him. So.
Familiar with, give me your thoughts on just going up against a very good Chargers team that we know have a really good quarterback.
Well, I mean, you know, we're going to get after this week. I feel like in our D-line room we're all connected and know what the game plan is. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun one this week.
Yeah. How much do you get excited for having an opportunity to go up against, you know, one of the best to do it right now in the NFL and Justin Herbert?
I mean, shoot. It's another opportunity to be great alongside with, you know, my whole defense, the whole team. So it'll be a good one, especially to go 6-1 this week. So it'll be dope.
How would you grade your performance through 6 weeks in your second year here?
I mean, shoot, I feel like I want to do a little better myself, and, you know, I'm trying to improve every week, you know, day by day. So I feel like I'm just trying to take it day by day and continue getting better.
I think before every season starts, the team wants to have an identity to build. Now that we're at this point in the season, how do you feel about the identity that you guys created for yourself and to continue to solidify it as we go forward to maybe separate yourself from like a huge pool of where no one really knows what an identity of a team is until this point?
I mean, we're just trying to win every week. And I feel like we're coming together as a team, you know, every day, you know, just getting more connected and, you know, really establishing, like, you know, how good of a team we are. So, you know, we're just going to continue carrying that throughout the season.
You hear it all the time, you know, bend but don't break. And it seems like you guys were living that last week against the Cardinals. Is that the mentality right now of the defense? And tell me more about that.
I mean, it definitely is, especially going into the season, you know, teams catching on to, you know, little stuff that you do. And, you know, it really just shows, like, who's going to, you know, swell up in that moment. And you see that, you know, our defense, our offense, we can be clutch in those moments when, like, you need us to be. So, I mean, I feel like, you know, for you guys as well as us, like, you know, it means a lot, like, winning a game like that.
I know it think it's led to some of the issues you all have had as a unit on third down, and what do you think are the keys to getting off the field?
I mean, really just as a D-line, I know really just kind of communicating with each other, making sure we contain the QB, and I feel like that's for us, like thinking specifically for us, that's what we got to do.
I know it's two different teams, but you are going back to a place that you have played at. Your only loss this season was against the Rams in SoFi. Does that come in your head a little bit? Like, hey, last time we were here, we didn't win this thing.
Well, I mean, shoot, I feel like we were close and we put on a damn good performance, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that it's another team, a new team, and whether we play in LA or wherever it is, we're gonna come out on top.
What kind of athlete is Justin Herbert? Does he kind of sneak up on you a little bit? Sorry.
Well, I mean, he's super tall, super athletic, can run, good in the pocket, makes his passes. So I mean, it'll be a challenge this week getting after him.
So here we go. The Colts looking to be 6-1. They're off to their best start since 2009 and showing no signs of slowing down. It's going to be really interesting. I think this is an excellent measuring stick game, as was that LA Rams game. Again, a game that the Colts had and could have won had they just executed and not dropped the ball at the goal line. That's really what it comes down to. We'll see. Speaking of that, A.D. Mitchell was inactive last week, a healthy scratch, and that's mainly due to Alec Pierce being back healthy and out of concussion protocol. But we'll see if that punishment, persists when it comes to A.D. Mitchell. Ashton Doolin didn't play very many snaps at all on offense, so we'll see if he's back in, Shane Steichen's favor here in Week 7. Certainly would be nice to get a playmaker like that back in good headspace, understanding he made a mistake, but back and making an impact on this Colts offense. But if JT and Daniel Jones keep playing like they're playing, Colts have as good a shot as anybody as getting it done here in Week 7 and advancing to 6-1. We'll have much more for you on air on WTHR, and of course right here on WTHR Plus as the Colts trudge ahead this NFL season, looking to get a dub over the Chargers here in Week 7. I'm Dominic Miranda for now here at the Colts Complex, 13 Sports.